Guys, what is up? We are out riding another e-bike. I'm going to preface this whole video with saying this is easily in my top 3 e-bikes I've ever ridden, possibly top 2. It's a solid bike. It is built by Engwe. Today we are on the Engine Pro. I actually did a review of a foldable Engwe EP Pro 2, I believe it was, and that was one of Engwe's foldable e-bikes that you can fold up, throw in a car, or whatever you want to do with it. This is the next step up from that. It's a bigger bike, it's taller, it can handle more, higher top speed, all kinds of stuff. It's just a little bit more bang for your buck. And this specific e-bike, you guys, I got from geekbuying.com. They have all kinds of electric toys, all kinds of stuff. I will have a link in the description for you guys to check out, but let's get on with it. So what we're gonna do is go over all the specs per usual. We're gonna test out the top speed. We're gonna test out the suspension. We're gonna pretty much give a rundown of everything. Then I'm going to take the bike out, hop off of it, and show you guys some B-roll shots and do an entire rundown of all the specs and everything to expect out of this e-bike. So without further ado, let's get going. And guys, something I wanna mention right away, this is my go-to road with these e-bikes to test out because it's really like ruddy in the dirt here, and this thing ate up the dirt no problem at all. To be completely honest, this was probably one of the best bikes for handling that so far that I've ridden. I love how this bike does have hydraulic oil brakes. It doesn't have the cables, you know, the mechanical brakes, so that I really do love. It's just a smoother feel. I always love when e-bikes throw that on. It's just a nice little touch. But guys, let's go ahead and go on our top speed road here, and I'm going to give a rundown of how many different speed modes this bike has and what it can do. So right now I have it maxed out in the 8th gear on the Shimano shifter over here, and me just pedaling, I'm putting some effort into it. We're going about 10 miles an hour. So what I'm gonna do is click up on pedal assist and put it on pedal assist mode 1. I'll be honest, I can feel it took a little bit of the stress off of my legs for pedaling, but it's not making a huge difference. We're still at about 10.5 miles an hour. Let's click it up to 2 and see what we get to here. So right now it's kicking in just a little bit. We've only gained about a mile per hour or so, so not much. I need to open my visor here, get some fresh air. It's a little warm today. Let's click it up one more time. Now we're in 3. Okay, so now it's really kicking up. I could feel that big time. So now we're at just about 15 miles per hour on mode 3. Let's click it up again to 4. Okay, now it's now it's kicking up. You guys can see that shot up really quick. We're going 25 miles per hour, we'll call it, just below 25. Now we're gonna click it up to 5. Guys, remember, I'm still doing the same input as in pedaling. I am barely pedaling this thing. I'm gonna close my helmet because of the wind noise. Look, I am like barely pedaling, and we're going like 30 miles per hour. That is insane. And that's it right there. We're at speed 5. I can attempt to go a little bit faster on our way back just to get a top speed on this thing. It does claim to go, I believe, on their website it claims to go, I think 25 miles per hour. So this thing is completely blowing past that. I mean, we were going 30 and I wasn't even giving it any throttle. I was just pedaling a little bit with pedal assist. So that's insane. Another awesome feature with this bike, guys, is it self-charges. So it like self-regenerates the battery as it like engine brakes and stuff like that. That's why you can see this bar here, like as I give it throttle, it'll show how much charge we're using, and it'll show how much we're not. You can see there it's kind of on and off. It's kind of cool. It's like an RPM gauge. And while we're looking at the screen, guys, it's a super simple setup. You can see we got the battery in the top right corner. We're at 100% still. Total distance I've traveled is 2 miles. On the bottom left, you have which gear you're in, which pedal assist you're in. And then obviously right above that, you have your speed. And then if you click through the info button down here, you can change your total distance traveled to trip distance, total power you're putting out right now. So you're now putting out 105, kind of cool. Let's click it again. That's total power. So now you have trip time. You can set your trip time so you know how long you've been on this trip, which also is actually a cool feature. Max speeds, you can see there we already maxed out at 30.5 miles per hour. Average speed, it'll give you that as well. We're at 15 or so, and now we're back to total distance. You have a bunch of different settings on this thing. It's pretty cool to say the least. Another cool thing worth mentioning for you guys to keep in mind when you buy your very own Engwe Engine Pro. So once you power the bike on, and you're before you leave, you can hold the plus and minus button together for a few seconds, and it's going to open up a menu, and it's going to give you full control over the setup of this thing. You can put it in kilometers, you can put it in miles per hour, you can set up each speed mode, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, how much percentage of power you want it to put out in each pedal assist mode. You can change all kinds of stuff. It's actually really, really cool. It's a great feature. I love when they allow you access to do that. And then you can also change the max speed. So this thing clearly is maxed out well above 25. Another awesome feature worth mentioning is the suspension can be locked or unlocked. So if you plan on riding in dirt, definitely unlock it. You'll get a lot of travel, a lot of soft suspension. And if you're on the road, which actually, since that's what we're about to do is run our speed test, I'm gonna lock this suspension. I bet you that'll help us squeak a little more out of it. Give me a second here. So I'll show you guys how to do that really quick. You go down to the suspension down here. Right now it's open. Now it's locked. So that thing cannot move basically for the streets. All right, guys, here we go. So we're going slightly downhill. We got the suspension locked. We got the wind with us. See how fast we can get this thing going. 33, bruh. Over 34 miles per hour. Holy, I gotta catch my breath. Dude, this thing goes fast. Granted, I was assisting it a bit, but wow, that's ridiculous. Especially when they claim 25. Dude, that's literally 10 miles per hour faster than what they claim. Another cool feature mentioning, guys, a lot of these e-bikes do have it, is it has cruise control. So if I hold this throttle steady at right here, 20.2 for a few seconds, once I let go, it'll just be in cruise control and it'll keep going for me. And you can see it does regenerate battery. Granted, I only used 1%. I saw it get down to 99 at one point, possibly 98, and we're back to 100%. So super cool feature there. Let's go ahead and pull over up here and show you guys some B-roll and do a full rundown of the rest of the bike here. All right, guys, this right here is the Engwe Engine Pro. This color scheme, I love. This is the black color scheme, and I like how they threw some accents, some red and blue in it. I do apologize for the fingerprints on it. This is from me assembling it, so it's not perfectly clean. Normally it's just flat brushed black, but still looks good. So per usual, guys, I like to hop to the heart of the bike. The battery is encased in here in the frame, which can be accessed with this key underneath here. That's what unlocks and opens the battery. You pull this lever out, and then the bike literally collapses in half. You can slide the battery out. That's for storage, for security reasons, for travel, whatever you may need it for. But it is a cool feature to have. I will point out the bike weighs about 82, 83 pounds, so it is still heavy to fold it up and put it in the back of your car. And the battery is 16 amp hours, so it is a pretty solid battery. I believe they say you can get up to 75 miles with full pedal assist. More realistically, it'd probably be in the 60 range, somewhere 65. Full sport mode, like full throttle, I think you're only gonna get 22, 25. And then just like eco mode throttle, I want to say is in the 30s, somewhere in there. So it just depends on how you're riding it, but if you're just cruising this thing around, it's going to last you a very long time. And per usual, even if the battery dies, you can continue pedaling around. You're not going to get stranded anywhere. You're on a bicycle. Guys, this is the seat I was talking about. You have ventilation in the middle, and this is, you can probably see how soft and squishy that seat is. It is fully adjustable to multiple different heights. I have it set to where it's comfortable for me, but so far that seat is seriously like 9 out of 10. It's friggin' perfect. This down here is your whole setup with the derailleur, the shifter. It is a Shimano per usual. Those are probably the best ones you can get. So that I like so far. I felt like the shifting here and there was maybe a little clinky, not quite as smooth as normal, but it could have been because I was sitting in between gears up there and didn't click it all the way in, so it could have been my fault. And like I said before, the gearing for this is 8 different gears, so you definitely have a big ratio there for just cruising and like mountain biking without the battery or engine going. The load capacity on this bad boy is 330 pounds, so you could really sit on it and throw your friend on the back and still have no problems whatsoever, which is insane. Guys, the hub motor is 48 volt and it peaks at 1,000 watts. It'll give you about 750 watts constantly, but it can peak out at 1,000, so it has plenty of balls to it. And this thing, you'll feel the torque in it. This has some pull. It has some get up and go. The tires, they inflate to about 20 psi. They are 20 by 4s again, so they are very fat knobbies. You'll have no trouble taking these off-road. They're actually what they're meant for, but they do still handle very well on the road, which I've liked so far. Like I showed you guys before, the suspension in the front, it is not fully adjustable, but you can open and close it, so that'll give you the option for more of a smooth street ride like we did back there, or open them up if you're about to rip out in the desert. As I mentioned before, guys, the The hydraulic oil brakes are my favorite. They feel so smooth, so easy to pull. They brake very good. They stop this bike no problem at all. These truthfully are some of the best brakes I've felt on an e-bike. Moving to the back, you have a cargo rack. It says the max weight capacity is 25 kilograms, so I guess don't throw your buddy on that. But you can store a bunch of stuff on here if you have an extra battery, maybe some food if you're going out for a picnic or something. And on that cargo rack is a fully functional tail light, which is wired into the brakes, and every time you brake, it's going to illuminate. And I believe it has a running light at night as well. And the rims that the tires are on, guys, they have such a good look to them. I don't know, I like the style. They have a couple reflectors on each one for extra visibility. They just look really good. The headlight, guys, super bright, also has a reflector sitting underneath it. It is perfect for nighttime, and there is a setting, I believe, in the menu to turn the headlight auto on and auto off, so it's just on completely every single time you turn the bike on, so that's a cool option. The pedals on this bike are very solid. They have a good look to them, and this is the rear suspension, guys, and that is one of my favorite things about this. The bracket looks sick. It smoothens out the bike. Most of the bikes I ride are hardtail, so they have suspension in the front, nothing in the back, and just makes the ride a little harder, stiffer. But this one has full suspension. I'm not sure if you can adjust it, but where it's at right now for me is perfect. The handlebars also with this guy right here, if you open it, are fully adjustable. You can crank these things so much higher. I have them about as low as they can go right now. Again, that's for me. It's worked out great. But that just shows you guys, if you're a bigger person or a smaller person, you can make this bike work for you. I also love the leather grips they put on it. I'm not sure if it's real leather or not, or if it's a composite, but it has the wrist support here. That's a great feeling as always. The remote is super simplistic, has good grippy feel to it. And again, the display is one of my favorite. It looks great, and once again, very straightforward, very simplistic. And as you can see there, it also has an auto shut-off feature, so you don't waste your battery. We've been sitting here for a minute, the screen shut off, the bike powered down, and you can turn that off in the back menu that I told you guys about earlier. So far, a couple of my cons. One, this isn't really a con, but I just thought about this. I don't believe this bike came with a bell. Maybe it's just mine, but I'm going to probably buy a nice loud bell for it anyway, so I don't really care. But one of my biggest cons, when I opened this up and went out to ride it first, this brake line, the way they had it installed, was all twisted funny to where every time I hit any type of bump and the suspension traveled down, this thing was rubbing, the cable was rubbing so hard on this tire. But thankfully it was an easy fix. I just removed the brake caliper, pulled it up, twisted it the right direction, kind of re-ran it and remounts it, and now I don't have any issues. But that was really my only complaint about that. And guys, putting this bike together when it arrived was very easy. It came with great instructions, all the tools you need, and it didn't take me long at all. I normally get these 90% assembled, so you're really just throwing on the front wheel, the bars, and stuff along those lines. It's pretty simple, but again, it was very easy to put together, very well laid out, and the package was put together very nicely as well. Guys, I think I forgot to mention charging time. I believe when I charged it fully was about average, like 5 to 7 hours, give or take. It is a little bit bigger battery, so it's okay if it charges longer because it's going to last you a long time. So yeah, guys, that's the Engwe Engine Pro. Great bike. I'm glad I could give you guys a first-person review of it and give you a rundown of everything. If you guys have any questions, throw it in the comments below. They are having a Father's Day sale, I believe. I will have that in the description along with other links for you to go purchase your very own. I might have a discount code as well. We'll see. But thank you guys for watching the video. This bike is one of the best ones I've ridden, and I say go grab one for yourself. Price point is around $1,400, $1,500 bucks, but like I said, they do have a special sale going on, so go see what kind of money you can save, and I'll see you guys next time.